my name is Leo and welcome to another reading of the Elder Scrolls. Today we'll be reading the Epic of the Grey Falcon by Anonymous? Oh, it's by Anonymous. But it was translated by Anido Joan Royal Archaeologist. So this book, you'll notice it's got a really shitty title. That's because this isn't the first page. The first page is like a little introduction, so let's read that first. It was uncovered and translated by Anido Joan, Royal Archaeologist, from an ancient tomb. This tale comes from sometime in the Second Era, most probably after the time of the Canhattan Flu, or at least I have so surmised, due to reasons in the text. Whether or not the tale is true, it remains an interesting story of survival. The reader will, I trust, forgive me if I translated the epic somewhat informally. The message, I think, is universal and should not be misread. Enjoy, gentle reader. AJJ. Now this book has some really bad word rap. Thankfully none of the words are missing, so I don't have to resort to looking at my phone. But I did have to I basically had to read half of the book to make sure that there wasn't any word wrapping, but there isn't, so we can just read it as normal. Yay. So, the Grey Falcon. Here we go. The Grey Falcon, a small warship of the Somerset Isle, was patrolling deep in the ocean for a pirate that had been looting the coast. The first 3 weeks out were uneventful. 2 hours after sunset on the 22nd day out of port, the lookout spotted a top of a sail, in the moonlight, just on the horizon. Sail! To the starboard! Forward, quartermaster! The lookout of the Grey Falcon cried. The crew and captain of the Grey Falcon were quickly roused and stumbled to the deck. "'Tis the ship we're looking for, Captain," said the lookout. "All hands to battle stations! All archers to their posts!" the captain yelled. "Full ahead!" The two ships closed, and a dark figure stepped out onto the forecastle of the pirate ship. The figure made a gesture with his hands, and a giant ball of fire streaked towards the Grey Falcon. The ball of fire struck the Grey Falcon in her sails, quickly catching them aflame. The figure made another gesture. Large bolts of ice streaked out from his hands and hit the Grey Falcon just above and below the waterline, gouging large holes in her hull. It's a really weird sentence to say. Gouging large holes in her hull. That is hard to say. Holes in her hull. The Grey Falcon was mortally wounded, which is stupid because it's a boat and boats can't be mortally wounded, but I understand what you're trying to say. The captain cried, "All hands abandon ship!" as he was cut off by a pirate's arrow shot into his throat. As the Grey Falcon, aflame and listing badly, plunged into the sea. One of her sailors, Derek Seaspit, managed to avoid the pirate's arrows and spells to make his way to a lifeboat and lowered it into the darkness below. Just as the lifeboat entered the water, a quick grey shape jumped onto it. Derek looked and saw it was Helnor Snalsbane, a Khajiit mercenary assigned to the ship. The two rowed the small boat away as the Grey Falcon finished her descent into the sea. In the darkness, the pirate ship missed their small craft. After the two rowed well out of the pirate's possible view, they both collapsed from exhaustion. Early morning the next day, they took an inventory of the lifeboat's stores Normally, the lifeboat carries enough food and water to supply 7 people for at least 10 days. In place of the food, however, Helena found a note. The food on this lifeboat was found to be in violation of Somerset Navy regulation during inspection. In accordance to that article, the food was taken away and destroyed. A replacement may be obtained by redeeming this letter at the Port Supply Office. Signed, Lieutenant Inspector Winhowler, a complete arsehole. Hilda read. Oh, Hilda actually read it. Whatever. Well, I guess that's Hilda's voice now. Hilda read aloud. Hilda read aloud. Said Derek to his... Oh, okay. Usually... Yeah, I don't like it when people say, said blah 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 at the beginning of the sentence. But anyway, whatever. Said Derek to his companion. Wait, who's Derek again? He doesn't have a voice. Oh. We have plenty of water, but we are out of food. We don't know what we're going to do. I suppose we could try fishing, but we have no bait. There's no chance we can make it back. There's no chance we can make it back. Oh, to land. There was a word missing. There's no way we can make it back to land before we starve to death. 'Twill be over a month in this craft. Wait, I have an idea, said Hilda. Right now, I've fucked up the voices. It's... Yeah, don't worry about it. With a gleam in his cat-like eye. 6 weeks later, the lifeboat entered the port of Comich. As it was tethered to the dock, a solitary figure was pulled out. Looking weather-beaten and thin, one of the dock workers peered into the life raft. After the figure was taken away to the port healer for treatment. What's this? The worker said to himself as he picked up a large bone from the boat. Oh, I know where this is going. A bone bleached white by the sun. Why would he throw the bones out? Why would he keep the bones? After the sole survivor of the Grey Falcon recovered from his ordeal, he was taken to the inquest for the death of Derek Seaspit and placed on a chair before the magistrate. We here in High Rock have a dim view of cannibalism. You'd better have a good reason for your actions. The Inquisitor boomed at Helena Snarlsbane. Oh, wait. Oh, by the lady, do you? Helena stood and said, Your Honor, I had no choice. There was no food, and it was at least 2 months to the closest port. We both decided this was the only way someone would make it. Well then, I suppose that is understandable, if somewhat distasteful, the Inquisitor said. You think it was distasteful? Helena muttered to himself. I didn't have any seasoning. Is that the end of the story? No, it's not. Okay, but that's a good punchline. Okay, where are you going? One final thing, Mr. Snarlsbane. How was it decided that you would be the one that would dine on the other? The toss of a coin? Helena drew himself up and said, Your Honor, it was very simple. Derek Seaspit was a vegetarian. Case dismissed. Oh, funny. And that was the tale of the Grey Falcon. When we come back tomorrow, we will probably be reading another book. And then maybe we'll actually get there. I'm not sure. But for now, my name is Leo, and I will see you next time.